Hey guys, what's up? Now, if you guys are looking to find out about how to incorporate the doubling theory with the market maker models, then this video is for you. Now, keep in mind that my videos, right, there are some videos in which I give it to you straight to the point, and then there are other videos in which you don't really get it straight to the point because you have to work for it. Okay, it's pointless me giving it to you straight to the point because if I do give it to you straight to the point, you're going to just copy and paste, and then sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't work. Okay, so apply yourself. That's the only way in which you're going to succeed. All right, so in this video, we're going to be looking at how to separate the doubling theory and the market maker models and then put them together. Okay, right. Now, the number 3, we are dividing the day up into 3 parts, as you have already seen in one of the previous YouTube videos. And each part will represent a market phase. Okay. Now, the manipulation begins the price discovery algorithm. Okay. The manipulation of liquidity will kickstart price discovery algorithms, which will then in turn cause liquidity seeking algorithms to probe into liquidity pools. Now you might say, Sean, come on. This is a bunch of bullshit. You're just spewing out nonsense so that we don't understand anything. You're going to make it as vague as hell. No. If you actually read books, if you actually do the damn work, you will see that these things make sense. Okay. A price discovery algorithm is one that seeks price when the left-hand side cannot be seen within a certain look-back period. And a liquidity seeking algorithm is one that will probe into liquidity pools. And if there is liquidity, if they get filled in at the order, if they fill their order at the price that they want with little to no slippage, that means there's liquidity. And liquidity seeking algorithms will seek to unload their positions there at a point of high liquidity, which is why I use stacked liquidity pools. Okay. Now, look at this. Over here, can you see how I drew 2 normal circles and then followed by a larger one? Okay. That is because this is an accumulation phase. This is a manipulation phase. Why is it manipulation? We take out the Asian high, we take out an old high over here, which should be the lunch hour high, and we also take out the London high, and then we start dropping. Okay. When we start dropping like that, when we go down below the candle that takes out buy side, which is there, there is a change in the state of delivery, and that will be what we call ICT smart money reversal. Okay, that is what we call the smart money reversal. And once we start the manipulation, the distribution, we will take 2 intervals. Okay, now there is an edge case over here. But in general, after the manipulation, you'll be facing the distribution, followed by the reaccumulation, which will then redistribute. Okay. Now, what classifies as a valid point to start the manipulation phase? Now, the following liquidity pools, if lined up with stacked liquidity, are valid pools to look at in order to consider the starting point of your manipulation phase. You're going to be looking at the arrays on Asian high and low, London high and low, New York high and low, and the PM session high and low, high or low rather. Okay, these are the points in which price is going to unload, and these are the points in which price is going to swoop up orders in order to move price in the other direction. Always happens. Okay, always happens. No other liquidity pool apart from these, right? What's after manipulation? No, that's a good question. And what's after manipulation? Obviously, distribution. What's after distribution? Reaccumulation or redistribution. And what's after that? Another prolonged period of accumulation. Now, here's where we blend in the market maker models. What do we have in this example? The smart money reversal. So this is considered to be a valid turning point in terms of a smart money reversal when you pair it with SMT divergence. Okay, and observe price trading above or below the candle responsible for liquidating stops. So as you can see, that rejection block over there, that's the one that took out the London high, and that was what price referred to in order to consider going short. Okay, now that over there is your low risk sell. And that is also your change in the state of delivery. Now you can say, Sean, shouldn't price go into the rejection block? Yes. Go and check the various time frames. You'll see that price mitigated either in order block or the rejection block. To make things easier, we use the fair value gap. Okay. And you can see there is an SMT divergence with the dollar index. And now before some of you know it all, comment me in the comment section and say, what your Dixie, your dollar index is wrong. It's inverted. It makes it easier for me to use it. Okay. Now here we have the low risk cell. Now the low risk cell will be either the return to the order block or rejection block. Okay. Now from a mechanical standpoint, this will be the return into an inverted fractal dealing range or the equilibrium of the manipulated range. And as you can see, I've drawn it out over here. This is where you would take a sell, stops above the smart money reversal, and your take profit is up to you. Obviously, take profit will be stacked liquidity on the sell side, right? After the manipulation, after the low risk sell, what do we have? The first stage reaccumulation to redistribution. Price will make use of inverted fair value gaps that exists inside of old manipulated ranges that are getting traded through. Okay. Now, we all know that wicks are also gaps, some form of a gap, right? So we can see here, we mitigated this wick right there going up. So that's what? That's an old point of reaccumulation of longs. So when price closes below it, it becomes a new point of reaccumulation of shorts for redistribution. That is one way of looking at it. Actually, no, one way is the only way of looking at it. Final tip for you to keep in mind. If a market maker model is complete after the first stage redistribution, there will be no second stage redistribution within that factor. Price will move straight towards a new phase of accumulation, right? Now, in this case, in this large example, price took out stack liquidity after the first stage of redistribution. Okay. And there's no other stack liquidity pool to take. So price went into a prolonged phase of reaccumulation. Or keep it simple, accumulation. Okay. That is that. And that is how you pair the doubling theory and the market maker models. It is hard. You guys are going to have to put in the work. Okay. Now, one of the main things that you have to understand is this. Okay. Look. This here. You identify which interval of time is the manipulation. After that, the next two intervals of time will be your market maker model. Okay, the next two intervals of time will be your market maker model. You can break it down even further, right? You can have one small fellow here. You have another two intervals over here, right? And you can see we have stack liquidity. Well, let me see. We have stack liquidity over where do we have? Okay, here, right there. Okay. Then what? So we know that this is manipulation. Then this is going to be distribution. This is going to be reaccumulation to redistribute. You see that? Accumulation, reaccumulation to redistribute. Manipulation, distribution, reaccumulation, redistribution, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, reaccumulation, redistribution, accumulation, and so on and so forth. Okay. So with that said, I hope you guys put in the work. If you do like this content, if you do like me breaking things down like this, if you do like me making you work hard for the knowledge, making you, basically me forcing you to get your aha moment, that will open your mind to various other things. Be sure to leave me a like and give me a follow, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck and good trading. Bye-bye.